Well, let me do this quick. I don't know if I'm doing this through the app on my YouTube page or if I'm doing this from my phone, but either way, I don't think I'm going to get 30 minutes out of this, so I'll try it. But I want to say real quickly, continuing from part one of this segment, this video, that laws that we make for ourselves are laws that we make for ourselves. We don't make laws for other people. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would love to be able to make a law that says if you swag, if you understand what swag is, you go to prison. You know, just like no shoes, no shoes or no shirt, no service. Okay? People who swag their pants in public, I think they should be arrested for doing it on a public street. But see, I can't make that law. I can make that law for maybe me. I can tell my kids, don't let me catch you swagging. If I had a son that, was a swagger, I could say, boy, don't let me catch you out there wearing your pants like that. I will ground you. Because it's stupid. It's nasty. It's a way for men to show cleavage. I mean, it's gross. It's just nasty. It's stupid. It's pathetic. But I can't make laws for other people. Okay? As much as I want to. I can't. You know what I'm saying? Even the President of the United States, people are so worried about Donald Trump and what he's going to do. But Donald Trump can only push the laws that are already within our system. Okay? Donald Trump is not going to go in there and break the barriers. He's only going to utilize within his rights to do so. And in order for you to understand his rights, you would have to understand politics and understand the Republican Party. Okay? A lot of people are afraid of what someone like Donald Trump would do, but I'm not. And if he was a Democrat, I wouldn't be worried about what he's going to do, because he can only do what is in the party that's legal to do. And however, though, we didn't think that Barack Obama could actually push gay marriage. Actually, he had some help. He didn't do it alone. He had some help. He was just crazy enough to actually, do it the way he did it. But it was the Supreme Court that already had made a decision. They just needed him to utilize it because he was the man in the driver's seat, although they were the law behind it. But no other Democrat in history had the guts to pull that one. And I don't even think Hillary would have pulled that one if Hillary had become president. She might have fought for gay rights or whatever, but gay marriage, I don't think she would have even pulled that one. It had to be a brother that pulled some nonsense like that. There we go. But anyway, this scripture here says, all things are lawful for me, but all things are not helpful. All things are lawful for me, but all things are not helpful. All things are lawful for me, but I will not be brought under the power of any. Foods for the stomach, and the stomach for foods, but God will destroy both it and them. Now the body is not for sexual immorality, but for the Lord, and the Lord for the body. And that is a good summary of what I've been trying to say about law versus scruples. And I just really believe that there's a fine line between laws and made up laws that are instant man-made laws. And I get a little offended that atheists try to make laws for Christians. Like they make this law like, okay, well, you don't have any evidence for God, so shut up. No, I'm not going to shut up. I'm going to preach the gospel. Okay? Because if there's a law that says I have to shut up because I have no evidence for God, where was it centuries ago? You're late, atheist. You're late with a lot of stuff. Why are you just now coming out with this? It should have came out a long time ago. Should have came out a long time ago. And just like they laughed at Moses, Moses had no evidence that a flood was coming. But they laughed at, did I say Moses? I meant Noah. They laughed at Noah even though Noah had no evidence of a flood coming. He preached what God told him because he heard the voice of God. The flood came and everybody was washed away except those that entered the ark as God had instructed them. And so it's going to be the same way in the end, folks. It's going to be the same way in the end. But I can't understand where people get off trying to add scruples, you know, like 5-minute, 2-minute scruples in the midst of something. It just really, I think it's criminal to me. You can't tell us that, you can't throw that evidence thing at us like it's a law or something. It's not a law. People have been believing in things that have no evidence, not only every day right now as we speak, but for years. Like I said in the last video, we didn't get here based on any evidence of anything. Okay? You have to believe in order to create evidence of something. If you had to have evidence of the first automobile before you built it, we wouldn't be driving automobiles today. Okay? You had to have a picture of it that in your mind that didn't exist before you created it, before you invented it. I mean, people can't fly, but if people didn't have some kind of faith and belief that they could create objects that could fly, okay, then we wouldn't be flying airplanes today. And if it wasn't for those that heard the voice of God and had the faith that goes with it, there would be no Christianity today. Now, you want to act like everything's a creation that doesn't take any kind of religion or take any kind of faith or any kind of biblical or godly activity to be involved. Well, I debunk that. I totally disagree with that. Okay? The Bible and the understanding of Christians and the Christian family and all like that is just as much a part of our world and our culture and our history as anything else. I don't care what you say. Okay? It's a battle of the minds. You're saying because I have no use for something, I don't want anybody else to have a use for it. Because I don't have a use for something, I'm going to make it hard for somebody else to enjoy it. Like I said in another video, a guy breaks up with his girlfriend. Okay? He thinks he can control anybody, including her, that gets near her. He's going to make sure she doesn't date another man or marry another man. And he's not going to let another man get near her. And that's the same kind of attitude that atheists have towards Christians. Like, oh, I walked away from the church and I grew a hatred for belief in God. So I don't want you to believe in God. And you make this scruple, this law for yourself, that wherever somebody is talking about God, you got to put your foot in their mouth. No, you don't. You tell yourself that, but you don't. You can let it go. Okay? You're not going to get a B, a C, $1 or a 50 or 100 or anything but a fight. That's all you're going to get. You're doing the devil's work. Let's even take religion out of it for a minute. Just on a secular level, when you go out there and you create scuffles between people just because you don't agree with, eye to eye with what they believe, you're not helping anything. You're just creating a scuffle, a quarrel. Okay? Where you are going to end up looking like the perpetrator. And you are the perpetrator, even if you don't look like it. You are the perpetrator. Atheists, you are troublemakers. You can't make up laws for Christians. Oh, well, you don't get to talk because there's no evidence for God, so shut up. You don't get to say anything. Try to stop me. I'm going to preach the gospel. And if you don't like it, like I said in the last video, you walked in here uninvited, you can leave out of here without nobody stopping you. Ain't nobody going to lose sleep because you walked out. I'm going to believe in God because I have a right to do so. Okay? And you know that 9 out of 10, me believing in God means nothing to you or for you or against you or of you or anything. It means nothing. It does no harm to you whatsoever, but you want to fight. And it's just, for a lot of you, you're just criminals that were criminals before you ever got into atheism. You just want to fight. That's all you want. And this is, who is it? Cool Cat or Simple Sam or whatever that one, Samson or whatever that one that replies to me. Ask me, what is your problem with atheists? There you go. Because you like to fight. And when I look at the comment thread, did I not answer that question in the video? And you come back repeating something that I already said you would repeat. You're not even trying to try to understand. Okay? This is why I believe that debates are pointless. Debating with atheists just makes them think that they have some kind of court order or law against you. We don't have to debate with atheists because why? We believe, like I said in earlier videos, people walk into churches, don't expect evidence. When you hand out tracts on the street and talk to people about the gospel, they're not looking for evidence. Nobody in any church is looking for evidence of God. We have documentation that we believe answers for why there is no evidence of God. Physical, scientific, human evidence for God. He's not a man. Why should he be able? He's not a man. He's not a bird. Why should he have to present himself, as some kind of idea that you have in your brain that you think, oh, I would accept God if he came to me in the form of an eagle, or if he came to me in the form of a millionaire, or if he came to me and apologized to me for everything he did wrong to me, I would believe in God. I think if you saw God, you would drink yourself to death and commit suicide. You would overdose. And I think if God saw you after all the stuff that you say, You would just disintegrate. Because see, the day that you do see him, but I'm gonna close it out right here. I'm gonna close this one early. You can make laws for anything you want, but the fact of the matter is, are they really laws? Okay. I mean, when you put a chair out in front of your house because you don't want nobody parking. You live on a public street, but you put a chair out in front of your house because you don't want nobody parking in front of your house. You can't do that. I can call the cops and have that chair removed if I'm afraid that you might punch me if I move your chair. Back in the day, I tried that. Somebody made sure I was watching when he kicked that chair right out of its spot. Okay? You can't do that. There's no law that says you can put a chair there, okay, to keep people from parking in your spot. Okay? And this is kind of like what atheists do to Christians. Oh, we're going to do things, we're going to rip down anything where you exalt God. Every time you say the word God, or say the word heaven, or say the word hell, or say the word Jesus, or say the word devil, or say the word anything that comes out of this Bible, you're going to put your foot in our mouth. By what law? It's not a law, like I said. It's a scruple. It's a man-made law you made up because you're weak. Because you don't know how to think beyond and above. Okay? Because you're not the critical thinker that you claim you are. Okay? So you need to make those kind of laws for yourself. But it's not a law, it's a scruple. And I will obey laws from the government, laws from the state, but I will not play games with your scruples. Okay? Treat me with the same respect that you want me to treat you with. Laws that are really laws, everybody has to follow them. Scruples, everybody doesn't have to follow them because you made them up 5 minutes ago or less. Nobody has to follow them. And the stuff that comes out of the mouth of atheists, most of it is scruples. It's not laws. But I believe in God's law. God's law is good for us. Why should we fornicate? Why should we, when we know that love, sex, and marriage come together as one piece, why should we defile it? Why should we ruin it by separating it? Duh. Okay? But I love the law of the Lord. Not because I have to follow it in a secular world. But I do believe, again, his law has promise of this life and the life to come. I promised you I would cut this one short, and I did. God bless you. I'll talk to you soon.